You know, after all these years on the bench, I've learned that the deepest pain isn't losing somebody, it's still loving them when they're no longer here. One snowy December morning, a 70-year-old man walked into my courtroom. His name was Richard. His coat was faded. His hands were rough. His eyes looked like they hadn't slept in a very long time. He had received a citation for sitting inside a toy store after closing time. I looked at him and gently asked, "Mr. Richard, why didn't you leave when the store closed?" He looked down, then quietly answered, "I was waiting for my grandson." The courtroom became silent. I asked, "Where is he?" Richard smiled, then tears filled his eyes. "He passed away 8 years ago." The room froze. I gently asked, "Then why were you waiting?" He reached into his old shopping bag. Inside was a small red toy truck, brand new, still wrapped. I asked, "Who is the toy for?" He smiled. "My grandson." The courtroom was confused. Richard took a deep breath. Every Christmas, since he was 3, I bought him a toy truck. He loved trucks. He said, "Grandpa, when I grow up, I'm going to drive the biggest truck in America." A small smile spread across the courtroom. Then Richard whispered. The Christmas he turned 10, a drunk driver took his life. Silence, complete silence. Richard held the little red truck against his chest. I couldn't bring myself to stop buying them. So every Christmas, I buy one. I take it to the children's hospital, and I give it to a little boy who doesn't have anyone visiting. His voice cracked. I tell them, "This is from Grandpa." I never tell them it's really from my grandson. There wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom. Then I asked, "Why stay inside the toy store?" Richard smiled. I couldn't decide which truck he would have liked most. The courtroom shattered. Then he looked at me, his voice trembling, and asked the question I'll never forget. "Your Honor, do you think he knows I'm still buying them?" I stepped down from my bench, walked over, picked up the little red truck, then quietly said, "Mr. Richard, I don't know what heaven looks like, but I believe every child who receives one of these trucks is another way your grandson still changes the world." Tears rolled down his weathered face. He smiled, the kind of smile only a grandfather can understand. Just then, the toy store owner stood up. He walked toward Richard, placed a small box in his hands. Richard opened it. Inside were 12 toy trucks, one for every month of the coming year. The owner smiled, then softly said, "As long as I'm here, no child will miss Christmas because of your kindness." Richard couldn't speak. He simply hugged the little box. As he reached the courtroom door, he looked toward the sky, smiled, and whispered, "Merry Christmas, buddy." I watched him leave, a 70-year-old man, a box of toy trucks, a broken heart, and a love that refused to stop giving. Because after all these years on the bench, I've learned the people we lose never truly disappear, as long as their love continues through us. Before I leave you today, if there's someone you'll never stop missing, write only their first name in the comments. Let's remember them together. And if stories like this touch your heart, I hope you'll join me again. Because somewhere, another ordinary person is carrying an extraordinary story